My wife publicly humiliated me in front of my closest business associates, and it happened on our 15th wedding anniversary. She had no idea. She was being played like a fiddle. My name is Arthur Vance. I'm 55 years old, a landscape architect from Savannah, Georgia. I built my business from the ground up with these calloused hands. But the night my 8-year-old daughter stood up and spoke the truth, I had no idea it would end with police sirens, a broken conspiracy, and a marriage saved from the brink of hell. This is the story of what happens when greed tries to destroy a family, and how the innocent voice of a child brought a crooked man to his knees. The clinking of a fork against a porcelain plate sounded like the monotonous ticking of a wall clock in the Vance family dining room. Silence. The large 2-story house felt way too empty for just 3 people. I sat at the end of the table, my eyes glued to my laptop. My fingers were furiously typing out work emails, as if the outside world mattered far more than the woman sitting right across from me. Eleanor stared at me with a hollow gaze. She looked pale, the dark circles under her eyes, telling the story of long, sleepless nights. "You came home at 2 a.m. again, Arthur." Her voice broke the silence, raspy and filled with pent-up resentment. I didn't look up. "The corporate project is falling apart, Eleanor. Don't start this again. I'm exhausted. Your daughter is forgetting what her father looks like. Or are you just making excuses so you don't have to look at us?" Eleanor's voice rose, trembling with anger. I slammed the laptop shut. In the corner of the room, Lily, our 8-year-old daughter, stopped touching her dinner. She stared at us with eyes too mature for her age. "Mom," Lily whispered suddenly, looking toward the dark hallway. "The man in the suit, who comes over when Daddy is at work. He said, Daddy will be leaving this house very soon." Lily's words hung in the air, like a toxic fog. That man in the suit was Thomas, my company's chief financial officer, and the man who had been keeping Eleanor company while I worked late. Thomas was manipulation personified. He wasn't ruining our home with magic. No. He was whispering poison into Eleanor's ear, convincing her that I was having an affair and embezzling funds from my own firm. A week later, the tension reached a boiling point. I walked into Lily's room and found her blankly cutting up our family photo with a pair of scissors. "Uncle Thomas told me that if Daddy's picture is gone, Mommy won't cry anymore," Lily said, innocently. When I confronted Eleanor about Thomas, she snapped. "You're accusing me? You're the one destroying this family with your lies, Arthur. Thomas is the only one who actually cares about us, while you neglect this marriage." It all came to a head on our 15th wedding anniversary dinner at a high-end restaurant downtown. Thomas had boldly shown up, sitting at our table at Eleanor's invitation. In front of my business clients and colleagues, Eleanor stood up, raised her champagne glass, and smirked at me. "Let's raise a glass to my husband, Arthur," she said loudly, capturing the attention of the entire dining room. "A man who pretends to be a great provider, but is actually a fraud, who has run his own company into bankruptcy." The room erupted into whispers. My dignity as a hard-working man shattered instantly. Thomas sat right next to her, wearing a triumphant smile. ready to strip away what was left of my life's work. I was ready to give up. I braced myself to stand up and walk out of that restaurant, never to return. But before I could take a step, Lily pulled on her mother's dress in a voice that trembled but rang perfectly clear through the silent room. Lily said, "Mommy, stop. Uncle Thomas is a liar. I saw Uncle Thomas taking files from Daddy's desk and putting them in his bag last week. Uncle Thomas took the money, not Daddy." Those innocent words hit Eleanor like a lightning bolt, shattering the web of lies Thomas had spun around her. Thomas turned ghostly pale. He lunged to grab Lily, but I instantly stood up and slammed him against the wall. The night ended with police sirens outside the restaurant, as Thomas was led away in handcuffs after a quick search of his phone revealed the entire embezzlement conspiracy against me. The next morning, the golden Georgia sun broke through our living room windows, washing away the remnants of the nightmare. The house finally felt spacious, bright, and peaceful. Eleanor sat next to me on the porch, her tears dripping onto the wooden table. She reached out and squeezed my calloused hand, a warm touch I hadn't felt in years. "I'm so sorry, Arthur. I let my loneliness make me blind," she sobbed. I wrapped my arm around her shoulder as Lily ran out to hug us both. The storm had almost broken us, but the pure honesty of our daughter and the shattering of our own pride saved this family from true destruction. Drop a comment below. Type 1. If Arthur was right to forgive Eleanor for the sake of their daughter, Lily. Type 2. If you would have divorced Eleanor on the spot for humiliating her husband publicly. Or type 3. If Thomas deserves the maximum prison sentence for his betrayal. Tell me where you're watching from and what time it is there. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.